I wish. Okay, well, here we go.
This is the Creative Crunch Podcast.
Yesterday's left turn might be tomorrow's right turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait. That's a good idea.
Okay, so welcome back to a unique episode of the Creative Crunch Podcast. As you see, we are in a car on our way to a wedding in Wisconsin. And we've got a GoPro Hero 9 hooked up to a thingy. And Ben's driving.
We got our Taz cams recording. This is probably going to be terrible audio.
Make sure.
I just have mine taped on my shirt.
I have it clipped.
It's probably so loud, like the car. Let's get some ambient noise so we can cancel it out later.
Yeah, we'll put ambient noise over the whole thing. So, what was it? Do you have the Creative Crunch Premiere file on your computer? Because I only have it on my desktop. I don't have it on my laptop. Which we don't need to edit it tonight, but
Maybe. No promises.
okay. Well, whatever happens.
Probably not.
Okay.
We're going to edit it on the way there.
Don't crash into this car.
We need a two view. We need
we can cut back and forth.
Oh, shoot, you're right.
Okay, what are we... I don't think we really have a set plan for this episode. I just hope you guys can hear us. It's still recording, but you can't see.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Well...
so my name's Ben.
And I'm Libby.
Ben and Libby. Okay, we're going to ask some questions. Just icebreaker.
Shoot.
Icebreaker questions.
Okay, that's our intro. Welcome to...
Okay.
Oh, boy. Icebreaker questions, huh?
Icebreaker questions. There we go.
Let me do this. You're driving. First things... No, that's not. Are there any interesting things your name spells with the letters rearranged?
Neb.
Well, I was going to go backwards, too. Mine spells deer.
All right. You can make a logo out of that somehow.
What? Should I change my brand to have, wildlife in it?
You'd book a bunch of, hunting couples and stuff?
Yeah, I could. If you were a potato, what way would you like to be cooked?
Oh, gosh, that's easy.
Potato wedges, probably, for me. Or French fry.
I would probably say... Yeah, it would have to be hash browns or French fries.
You could do mashed potatoes. You could do just regular cooked potatoes. Just raw. I'd be a raw potato.
Please don't cook me. Okay. Hold on. Did you hear about the gas shortage?
Yeah, I heard a little bit about it, but I didn't really read up on it.
Well, I know it's all it's the East Coast or something right now, so Florida and North Carolina. And I'm just trying to imagine if it was happening here, and it's Friday, and we're packing, and we're yo, we got to get to this wedding, but our cars are empty. What would you do?
Well, someone would be an entrepreneur and think ahead and get just a ton of gallons of gas before they ran out and then sell it. So I think you'd be able to find someone
That's true.
who would be selling gas at a ridiculous price, though.
Someone said, or there was a story about a Hummer that did that, and it literally went up in flames.
A Hummer that did what?
they like filled their car full of gallons of gas, like a bunch of tanks of gas.
Was it different? It was probably different types of gases.
No, it was just the same gas. And
So why did it go up? I guess they don't make Hummers anymore, so maybe it was a manufacturing
I
thing.
mean, they could have been smoking or something. But yeah, that would be sucky.
Yeah,
I was
like
trying
how
to-
would you explain that to your couple? Like, hey, like I'm all ready to go, but there is no gas, and
Yeah,
so
it's not in my contract. You have to add it for 2022. It's in your contract.
I am not responsible if there's a gas shortage.
In the event of a gas shortage. But I did read an article that was saying how it's a look into like the future of gas powered vehicles, like
That
running out of gas like that.
Eventually, at some point in the world of life,
It's all gonna be electric cars and
well, yeah, because like at some point it's gonna be harder and harder and harder to get gas. So might as well just buy a Tesla now, huh?
gosh, seriously.
Elon Musk, if you watch our podcast, we'll both take a Tesla.
We'll review a Tesla for free.
Yeah, we will do all our podcasts from Teslas.
Oh, that'd be epic. Let's go.
And it wouldn't be loud.
No.
Oh, I really want a Tesla.
Okay. Would you go to space if you knew that you could never come back to Earth?
Absolutely not. Space freaks me out, and the ocean freaks me out. Anything that's just like, well, the ocean is endless, but obviously you can't explore that. But like the space, galaxy, universe, like, ugh.
I think if I was later on in my life, if I was like 65, I would consider saying yes. Or something. But I feel like I still have a lot of life left to live.
If you're 65, you still have 20,
That's
like
true.
20 years at least.
Hey Google,
Siri.
what's the average life expectancy?
83, I'm gonna guess.
Here's what I found.
What's the average life expectancy of a human?
The average lifespan of a human is 72 years.
So short.
Dang, 70. Well,
That's gotta be going up though. There's no way that's still 70.
well, okay, you put it in perspective, how many people are on Earth? And
That's
like
true.
the average is, there's so many people.
How many people are on Earth? It's gonna be like 7.8 billion.
Sorry, one more time. As of
I was right,
2020,
7.8
the
billion.
population of Earth was 7,830,458,560.
That's such a big number.
Billion.
So yeah, out of 7 billion people, the average is like 72. I guess that makes sense. Probably a majority of
Imagine
of
living in
people
the-
are unhealthy. Like, probably not super health freaks.
What was the human life expectancy in 1850?
58.
I found this on the web.
I can't. There's too many numbers.
Okay.
Anyway, no, I don't think I would go to space right now.
No, not right now. But like, I like the idea of like, maybe if you've only got like 2 years left, 3 years left in life.
Well, it depends. Like, are we just like going to space and like we're gonna be in a spaceship the whole time? Or are we gonna go to like a
No, we're just floating around. Like they just shoot us up there without anything.
oh, shoot. I
No,
think I would consider it if I was going with like another person or a couple more people.
Yeah, definitely not alone. There's I watched this Joe Rogan podcast of Joe Rogan. If you watch this podcast and you want to come on or invite us on yours, of course we'll come. But it was like this astronaut, or like I don't remember his name or exactly what he did, but this is a dude. He like spent 2 weeks like at the floor of like the sea somewhere, like 2 weeks underwater in the ocean, and then he spent 95 days up in space, like in the what's
International Space Station.
Yeah, and like just some of his stories, just like
There was that one guy that spent a whole year up there.
yeah,
Which seems like such a long time.
yeah, like he was telling like stories about like when you come back to Earth and like how your body is like adjusting and how much muscle you've lost and like your bones kind of start to deteriorate because when you're up there, obviously there's like no gravity, and obviously they have like ways to work out your muscles and everything. But he said like when you come back down, it took him like over a year to like get back to where he was when he left.
Gosh, that would be...
I couldn't even imagine like a no gravity scenario. Like,
Yeah, I think it would be really fun, like, right away in the moment, but then as soon as you're there for, like, more than 24 hours, I think you'd be like, God, how do I sleep in this? Like, I'm just trying to imagine, like, sleeping but not being able to, like, physically lay down. You're literally just, like, everywhere is up, down. Like, there's no, like, laid down. You're laying
just floating.
up. Like,
I don't know. I mean, it's probably takes some adjusting, but
you probably literally get
after
to
a
a
while,
point where
you
you
probably
just
get-
are so tired you just fall asleep.
yeah, you just float around. I mean, I'm sure you have like a little capsule thing, so you can't just float into important things. Like, you float into like the thing that just
Says
self-explodes.
eject.
Yeah. Oh shoot! I was sleep floating.
I can't imagine they have an eject button in there.
No, because like, in what scenario would you need to eject and then just be in space with no way of coming back?
I can't imagine though. It would probably feel really cool to be like, you know, the space suits that have the like, at least in the movies. I don't know if this is a real thing or not, but like, they can like control where they're flying and stuff. It almost uses like the oxygen to like blow air out of the suit so they can.
I have no idea if that's legit or not.
If that was legit, that would be such a cool feeling.
I mean, jetpacks are real, so you could experience
True.
that on Earth. You don't have to go into space.
I bet it would be such a different, like... I think it would be so cool to just go up into space commercially for, like, just a quick trip.
Let's reach out to NASA or SpaceX and see if they need a commercial.
Oh, gosh. That would be so cool.
Just have these two people that know nothing about space. They're like, hey, go up with them. And like, we're nowhere near prepared for anything.
Side note, what are your thoughts on that Elon Musk internet service? Like the Starlink or whatever.
I haven't really read up on it at all. But I could see it being a huge thing.
Like you literally just buy like this little satellite dish, and then that's how you get internet.
Well, I think in the future, internet, like different ways to get your internet is going to become huge. I think there's going to be a lot more companies. I think Elon Musk is just someone that sets the tone for the future. So I would assume that it would go really well, but I would also assume it would be crazy expensive.
All right, what's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done?
Been friends with you. I don't know.
One time in middle school, I don't know what I was doing, but I was in the shower and I was experimenting with a razor. And I just thought, oh, it'd be so fun to just like go around my face. Come to find out, I like went right down the middle of my face. So I shaved half of my eyebrows off in the very middle, so it looked like I had really wide, like my eyebrows started in the middle of my eyes rather than like where the bridge of my nose is.
Do you have a photo of that?
No, but I remember it was the most painful like 3 weeks of my life because literally there's nothing you can do.
Like even if you're young and you're experimenting, that just seems so unnatural. Right? Like you've obviously seen people with beards or like mustaches. You know, no one really grows hair.
See,
You're like, let me just...
I just remember I'm actually filming this girl's wedding this year. Meredith, you're not listening. I know you're not listening.
If you are, let us know.
I remember you're like, what'd you do to your face? Or you said something like, what'd you do to your eyebrows? And I remember that traumatized me because I was like, oh, somebody noticed.
You think people were going to
I
notice?
got Saturday. It was like 6th grade when I did it.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that was not good. Don't, because that's like one of those things where it's like not just like, it's just embarrassing in that moment. It was like embarrassing for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know why. I know there's embarrassing things that have happened to me, but I probably just block them out. They're just like in the back of my mind and like in a don't reopen box. I don't know. What did I do when I was younger? I don't know, I'm gonna have to come back to that one, otherwise I'm just gonna think about it forever.
Okay. Describe your dream wedding if money was no object.
Well, like if money wasn't an object for a couple, like if they're just through.
Say it's your wedding.
It'd be cool to have like a destination wedding somewhere like in the mountains or in a forest or just something really cool and unique, but then also be able to like fly like all your family and friends out there and then have a reception as well. So have like an intimate ceremony, like, you know, up on a mountain, you can hike somewhere for it. And then the next day or that night, all your friends and everybody are there and like it's like just a giant vacation with your close friends and family. I
would definitely say that.
Location wise, I don't know. Like Sweden, or not Sweden, Switzerland. Those are like the coolest mountains. I've never seen them in person, but I've just seen like photos and videos of them. I think you could find a sweet spot to get married in Switzerland.
No, I think I'm the same way. I would fly out all my friends and family. Have like I mean, if I'm flying everybody out there, I might as well ring with the ceremony too.
Yeah. Would you do a destination or would you just find like a venue somewhere?
I think a destination would be cool. But I would honestly also be fine with it in my backyard. Just kidding.
Dude, backyard wedding. I love just yard weddings. Like, let's just throw it in our front or backyard. Especially with COVID, it's been more and more of a thing. For some reason, they're so much more intimate and just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it too would be epic to have an actual concert DJ like Martin Garrix, David Guetta.
That would be
and
really
like have them
just like a rave.
How much money do you think they make from one concert?
A lot.
Like $10,000 more?
I probably more, but I don't even have. I wouldn't even be close with an accurate. I've guessed like probably not like $100,000. It's probably pushing it, but probably a little more than 10 grand.
That is crazy.
But are they pocketing that money, or is that the money overall, like the overall profit from the concert? Then they have to pay everyone, or is that what like their? I have no idea. Because like casting, like your crew and stuff. Obviously, you got to pay them well to keep them around. So I don't know. A nice chunk of change, probably. I would say.
That would be so fun though to just have a concert DJ at your wedding. But then again, like I'd still want like a dance floor. Like I wouldn't want it to be like a concert, like mosh pit, where we're like raving over the DJ, but also just put like a dance floor right in front of the stage.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Well, because everyone's dancing at those concerts anyway, so if you just make a specific area, like, hey, just let loose.
Have you ever been to 515?
No.
You should go if they have it this summer. It's usually, like, you could go on Friday if you don't have a wedding on that Friday, but it's like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing. It's pretty crazy.
I'm not like super huge on like, because that's like EDM and like rap music, right?
Yeah, it's like electronic.
I'm not huge on. I would go because I mean it's fun. I do like music and I like concerts, but I like bands like AJR. I know like Shaky Graves is coming to Des Moines.
I can
don't know if
definitely
you know
feel that in your wedding videos.
What?
Like the bands like AJR.
Yeah.
Like with like the trumpets and the...
Yeah, the trumpets, that'd be like you have the guitar and like, I don't know. But if I have a couple that's like, hey, we like electronic music, obviously I'm gonna... no, I don't like that, you can't have that.
Yeah, Reed's very specific. You can only have a certain type of music.
Yeah, you have to have like upbeat rock / alternative with a little bit of hip hop in it.
Okay, so then next question.
This is the worst podcast I think we've ever recorded.
No, this is the best. I think everyone wants to know this, right? Yeah, see?
Oh yeah, they're nodding.
Okay,
what's your dream job? Are you working it right now?
I hope I can get out of this as soon as I can. I'm just kidding. If you could have an extra hour of free time every day, how would you use it?
Ugh. Like a free time, so it can't be work related?
An extra hour of free time?
Because I know your answer. If you had an extra hour in the day, you'd spend it working.
Just editing more?
I don't know. I really enjoy like outdoor stuff. Like I like kayaking, camping, fishing. And like in the summer, we get super busy. So it's kind of hard to do that as much as I like. Like last year, I went fishing once. And I think the year before that, I went like a couple times a week. So, I don't know. Doing fishing, kayaking, hiking, just kind of being outside, I think, is what I would spend that time doing.
Yeah, doing something outside. I also feel like I used to love video games. And I used to like really connect with my friends that didn't live close through video games. Like not video chat, but we would
game chat, party chat or whatever.
Party chat and play like GTA or Rocket League, and I always felt like it was like a really easy way to connect with those people, and I kind of miss that. But on the other hand, I don't ever really like think about it, so I don't really know.
No, yeah, video games are fun. I play them every once in a while. Like I definitely used to play them a lot more when I was younger. But like you said, it's an awesome way to connect with your friends that you don't really get to see or that are far away. But I also like playing video games by myself too, like Red Dead Redemption or like the new Spider-Man game. Like
I would maybe play a game like that, but man, I should see if I can get Lauren in a game.
Get Lauren into a game?
Yeah, like you know how Cassidy plays whatever that.
Animal Crossing?
Yeah. I wonder if Lauren would do something like that.
I don't know. I think video games takes a certain type of personality to like really get into something. I don't think I have that personality where I'm like super invested. I'm like, I don't know.
I'm just wondering.
What was that? What am I trying to explain with that? For the people viewing, Ben is notorious for missing turns. I don't know why you just don't turn on the sound. Because I'm sure you missed your turn already, and that's why we're here. Is that true?
Maybe, I don't know for sure. If you could have an endless supply of food, what would it be? See, that's the thing. Food for me is just like, I'd probably do...
Oh, no.
Something that I think would be somewhat nutritious, like Cliff Bars or like...
Yeah. Well, that's like... The food person in me that, you know, that like...
Continue on Iowa 13 north for 17
burgers
miles.
And stuff. Like, I want to say pizza or like burgers, but like if I had an endless supply of that stuff, I would get huge. I would blimp up.
Yeah.
For sure. So I want to say like, yeah, like a Cliff Bar, or bananas, or just something good for you at least.
Imagine this. I don't know why I'm thinking of this scenario, but someone says, like a genie is like, you can have any supply of any food. Go. And you like, the first thing you think of, you're like, burgers. And then you can't take back what you said. And so then you get an endless supply of burgers. And you're just like, you hate it after like a week. You're like, oh, why did I say burgers?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. But burgers, though, you can get so creative with them, though. Like, is it just one type of burger, or is it just like, have burger and you can...
It's just bread and hamburger. That's it. No ketchup, nothing.
That would be terrible. Have you ever talked about it on the podcast? Your little, I wish you could just have an IV of nutrients that just pumps into you so you don't have to eat.
Yeah, so...
It's one of the most interesting theories or ones I have ever heard in my life.
See, I mean, I don't mind taking a break to eat lunch. Like, sometimes I'm like, this is a good time to take a break. And I'm just like, even though I'm not really like that hungry, or I'm like, whatever, I'm just like, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to make lunch. But like, on the other hand, sometimes I'm editing and I'm like, I wish I could just like, give me an IV of food so I didn't have to go eat.
I mean, I see your point in the sense of cooking. I hate and suck at cooking. I'm trying to learn here and there, but I have, oh gosh, the truck just kind of pulled out in front of that car. I'm colorblind, so like when I make chicken and stuff, it's really hard for me to tell if it's done. Like that, that pink versus white at the very end, like just barely undercooked chicken versus cooked chicken, I can never tell. And I've gotten food poisoning a handful of times from that. So, well, you need to just stop cooking chicken, I guess. But yeah, cooking, ugh. And it's also just a lot of work. And it's like,
all right, if you could listen to one album for the rest of your life.
Please don't crash.
What are they doing?
That wouldn't have been your fault.
We're saving that. We're going to show you that later.
Yeah. I don't know why they were... You didn't like run a stop sign, did you?
No, I don't know what they were doing. Okay, yeah, so if you could listen to one album, what would it be?
Oh.
Mine would be Odessa, A Moment Apart.
Yeah, I only listened to like 2 songs from that album.
That album gets me into the flow state. Like, I really start focusing when I listen to that.
Gosh, there's so many good albums out there. Probably an AJR album. Probably Neo Theater.
What was the last album that you purchased a hard copy of? And it can't be vinyl, I'm talking CD. CD-ROM.
I don't know specifically, but I bet it's Green Day. Probably like American Idiot by Green Day.
Mine was probably A Time Flies. I've even bought a Taylor Swift album before. Well, I remember when Taylor Swift came out with that new song. It was like her Welcome to New York album or whatever.
I've never been a big T Swift fan.
See,
so
I wasn't either until I heard there's one song that had a rapper in it, and I was like, whoa, this is getting unique. Because I remember her being in country and then changing, and I was like, shoot.
Yeah, I don't know. I never I could name one. So Love Story probably is the only song I could name of hers. Like from back then.
If you could be a kitchen appliance, what would you be and why?
Probably a fork. But hear me out. Because you can do a lot of stuff with a fork. Like if you needed to like cook chicken or like cook spaghetti, you could do all of that with like a fork. Like I think, right? Like
yeah, but what happens when you get served like soup, and it's literally
spork.
Just
raw? That'll just be a spork.
Okay, a spork. I can see that.
I don't know if that's technically a kitchen utensil, but
I would probably... a kitchen appliance.
Yeah, this is your question, guys.
I would consider... Yeah, that's tough. Maybe the sink. I feel like then I have a purpose in life. Just clean and clean, and I feel like I'd get the most attention.
Appliance or utensil?
I don't know. Appliance?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'd get the
sink
most love. I'd get the most attention every time you come to the kitchen.
Probably the fridge.
Shoot. Oh, yeah.
Because you always go to the fridge, you always open it, and like I do it like 10 times in a row. Like I open it, come back 2 minutes later, see if anything changed.
That's true.
Yeah, but the sink though, like washing dishes. Well, you have a bougie fridge where you can get water from your. So technically, you can wash dishes from your fridge if you really needed to.
Trying to imagine that scenario.
Yeah. Have we even talked about why we're in a car?
Okay, yeah, so we're going to... So right now, we are in the car,
If you
driving from Iowa to Wisconsin.
Northern Wisconsin, right?
Northern Wisconsin, so it's about a six and a half hour drive, roughly, probably closer to 8 hours from Des Moines.
Yeah, so I have the longer haul today.
So yeah, Reed has the longer drive. He already got up at 6 a.m. this morning. But yeah, I have a wedding in Wisconsin. So that's where we're driving today.
Yeah, and I am assisting.
Okay, what is the reason you get up in the morning?
To pee.
Actually, my cats get pretty pissed if I don't wake up, so.
Yeah, but probably want a deeper answer. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, we have to work, but I enjoy working. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I wake up every day to live. Like, not in the sense of survive, like breathing and stuff, but like,
Yeah,
I don't know, to live life, to have new experiences, or even just go day by day. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you get to a certain point when you're laying in bed. At least this is for me. I'm laying in bed and I'm like, if it's like 10 o'clock, I'm like, it's 10 o'clock. I've already lost a good chunk of the day. I need to like get up.
Yeah. Time is that one, what you call value, or time is that one thing that you can never get back.
Resource, maybe?
Yeah, it's just that one thing that we'll never get back. And I like to sleep in, don't get me wrong. Like, I like to sleep until 9, 9:30, even 10 sometimes, but
So what time do you go to bed then?
I'm more of a late night person. So last night I go to bed till like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. because I was getting ready to pack. And
What about Cassidy? Does she go to bed at the same time?
She wakes up, well, she's got to wake up early for work, but she goes to bed later too. Probably 11:30 would be her normal time. I always fall asleep on the couch though. Like if we're not doing anything at night, we're just watching TV or whatever, I'll pass out like 10 o'clock. But do you feel more productive in the morning or at night?
I'd say I'm more productive
Or in the middle of it?
at like, starting at like 2 o'clock. That's usually when I'm like, Lauren's gonna be home in 3 hours. I gotta get some stuff done. But it's weird though. I feel like my productivity shifts. So like, I feel like I'm more productive with cleaning the house in the morning, but then I'm more productive with my like business in the afternoon and evening. And it really depends. Sometimes at 5 o'clock, I'm like, I should probably just put away my work for the day and spend some time with Lauren. But then there's other times where I'm like, I think Lauren's gonna want to watch her shows and put together her Legos while I sit on the couch next to her and edit.
Yeah.
So it kind of changes.
You said something the other day that was kind of interesting that I've been like sitting on for a while. Is that we were talking about like if you imagine if you had to go back to your old job or like to a corporate setting or like a 9-to-5 type of work, and how you and I were both in the same situations. Like we were waiting out the clock. We were looking like, all right, 4:30, 5 o'clock. Can get here as soon as you possibly can. You're like sitting there waiting for the time to be done, and then you can go home. But now, like working for yourself, where it's like you don't even think about that. You're just working. You have stuff to get done. Like it's not I'm waiting for that 5 o'clock to come so I can just be done working. Yeah, I don't know. That's something I didn't really think about before. But then when you brought that up, I'm like, I definitely did that in my old job. Harrison Trucks, I'm repping them right now.
Let's go, Harrison, if you want to sponsor us.
Yeah, they're not a thing anymore.
Oh, really? Oh, they rebranded.
Yeah, they got bought out. But yeah, like I'd literally sit there and be like, oh gosh, I think I went to work at 7:30 and I left at 4 or 4:30, and I would just sit there and I'd be like, come on, like speed up time.
Noon rolls around and you're like, all right, halfway there.
Yeah, lunchtime. I would always eat lunch later in the day, so like after I would eat lunch, I'd have shorter time before I'd have to go home, or like before the day was over. But yeah, now it's like I wake up and I start working. I'm like, maybe I'll finish up at 3, maybe I'll finish up at 10 p.m. Like you can kind of pick your own hours, and I know we've talked about it on another podcast before, but it's like just kind of it's more about the productivity from the day rather than here's how many hours I have to work.
Sometimes I wish though I wonder if we would have that feeling though if we worked at like a studio. Like, because we're at home, so we're not like, I can't wait to get home. You're already home.
Probably a little more sense. We probably have a little bit more of like a schedule. Like,
the thing that is so nice.
That would also be dangerous. It's going to turn to 45 here.
So speed up.
Yeah. That would also be dangerous though if we had a studio together. Even if we lived in the same area, we would never leave. 6:30 would roll around and be like, dude, we gotta get this done. Oh, we gotta film this, we gotta get this.
We would have to make a hard cut, like, hey bro, bye, we're out.
Yeah.
If we're done or not.
Like internet shuts off at a certain time. Shoot.
It is so nice though to be like, I'm gonna render this film, I'm gonna go and lay down on the couch for a second with my cat.
Yeah. Well, you know, if we had a studio, if it was bigger, we'd have a couch in there.
That's so true.
I don't know. That is the dream for me, at least one day, is to have like a studio. I know we've talked about this before, but like working from home is a pain in the butt for me. Like for some reason, it takes way longer for me.
I think it'll be different when you get your new place.
Yeah, that's true. Well, maybe. I mean,
I think you gotta separate yourself a little further away from the living room.
Yeah, so the office will be upstairs, I guess, and the living room will be downstairs, but we'll see. I don't know. It's having a home office is
1,000 feet, continue straight onto Iowa 13 North, Elkader Street.
This is Strawberry Point. You know, the only reason I know that is because there's a huge strawberry right there.
Camp Ewalu is over here too. Back when I went to St. Paul's and Lutheran School, we would have a weekend camp here.
Shoot. That's a big strawberry.
Should save it so they can see it.
All right. I'll show you this later.
Continue straight onto Iowa 13 North, Elkader Street.
I totally forgot what I was talking about.
Right now it says we're about 4 hours and 55 minutes away.
Oh yeah, working from home. I don't know. Having a home office.
Continue on Iowa 13 North for 26 miles.
So rude.
She's interrupting me all the time. Having a home office is great. Like, I'm very grateful for it. It's cool. But, like, one day when I get that studio, I cannot wait.
I would love to talk to some other, like, photographers. I feel like it's hard, though, because photography, I feel like we have to like seclude ourselves because we need to listen We need to listen to the audio. Oh my gosh, I am.
How fast were you going?
I think I was only going 5 over.
Oh. Yeah, you're good.
So like we have to seclude ourselves because we have to listen to the dialogue. Whereas a photographer, see, I don't know. I feel like a lot of photographers have IMAX. At least that's what my impression is. But I know if I was editing photos, I'd be on the couch watching something while I was editing, just to have like some background noise. Because I can't imagine just editing in silence.
Yeah. It would be kind of nice to...
I feel like I could learn so much. Literally just podcast after podcast, just editing every day. I'd be so excited to wake up and be like, I'm going to listen to a podcast today.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to listen to music or podcasts when editing. Yeah, I mean,
The only thing we ever learn about is other people's vows and like...
Yeah. We really get to know about how they feel about each other. I'm trying to think, is there at any point in the process of editing a video where you could
color grading.
be listening to... Yeah.
Color grading,
But
maybe.
color grading, you also have to be pretty focused too. But you're always scrubbing through to the next one. You always hear...
You'd have to turn the volume down of your... But see, I don't even do it that way. I literally just go back to the beginning of the film and I just hit the space bar, and as it starts playing, I just...
Yep.
That's how I do it.
Pause and start. Yeah, that's how I do it too.
And I actually want to start to do a new thing where for the multicams, I color grade the original shots.
Yeah, so you don't have to do...
Yeah, because...
that's a good idea.
And I just learned a new trick on how you can do that. But it sucks because sometimes I forget that I'm doing that. What is this?
Can't be Walu.
We should have stayed there.
Wow, the memories,
I always forget
man.
though, and I color grade a shot, and then when I want to go and color grade the original one, I forget that I color graded a bunch of other shots already. But what is the worst advice you've ever given? Wait.
Given?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't give bad advice.
Shoot, that's a tough one.
I don't know. Shoot, you should be flying the drone right now.
This is cool.
Worst advice I've ever given.
I'm trying to...
So maybe like out of context. So I probably made a video somewhere down the line where I was like, you just gotta drop everything, you just gotta do it. You just gotta like dive into whatever you're doing or whatever. And if that's taken out of context, that would be really bad advice. Like, I think it might have been in like a podcast that we were talking about like how people get started. I think if you took a clip of that without the whole thing that I was saying, I probably said, just do whatever you got to do to like do what you want to do. I'm gonna get that tattooed. Do whatever you got to do what you want to do. Do whatever you want to do, or do whatever you got to do what you want to do. 4 news.
I can't think of bad advice. I'm sure I've given bad advice at some point.
Yeah, you gave me advice to be your friend.
I said, you should really consider being my friend.
Hey, a piece of advice, be my friend.
Okay, describe your worst day ever.
Worst day ever. Shit, man, I recently lived it when Wrigley died.
Yeah, I
had
was
to
going
put
to say
Wrigley
that
down.
one. I would probably say the same thing about my dog when I was younger, but that's been so long ago now, it's barely in my mind anymore.
Yeah, that
But
was by
knew,
far.
the thing with mine though was that I knew it was coming because it just got to the point where he was so old. It was like, okay, I knew it was coming. I was prepped for it. Where
Yeah.
you weren't necessarily prepped for it.
I mean, not to get deep on the podcast, but so my dog Wrigley, he had kidney failure. We had to put him down. He was like a year and 10 months, just about. And I think in January we took him into the vet, and they like noticed his very high kidney values. So I don't think we expected it to get to kidney failure and like having to put him down, but yeah, by far the worst day. By far the worst day of my life was having to make that.
I remember when you messaged me too, and I was like, because I remember seeing a story of you guys camping, and I was like, it was in the middle of the night, and I remember waking up Lauren, and I was like, oh no. Yeah,
literally, we went camping that night before, which, I mean, it couldn't have been a perfect last day for him. He loved being outside and just spending time with us, obviously, and so we got to go camping, and he
I don't
was
think
literally...
I don't think you've told me the whole story, like everything that happened.
Shit, man. I'm gonna try. I'll try not to freaking cry.
Well, just give me like the rough, like...
So in January, we took him into the vet because he was having like incontinence problems. So like when he was in a deep sleep, he would urinate a little bit. So we took him in, and they ran some tests. And this was like mid-January, probably this year. And test came back, like he had really high kidney levels, which is kind of alarming. Not like, oh gosh, we're screwed. But so we got him on medication and some new food that he didn't really like. He really wasn't eating it, but it was like kidney health food. And later on, so we scheduled like a checkup like a month later, and that's when we were at Rita's Cantina with like those photographers when I got the R6, and the vet called me and said his kidney values went up even higher. Like, dang, like we didn't really know what was going on. So he was the runt of the litter, so runts typically have more health issues, and he had like a heart murmur, and he's just kind of underdeveloped. So there was literally nothing we could have done about it. So there's almost a sense of like resting in that, where, you know, we got to give him his best life for a year and a half. And I think it would have been a little bit easier to know, like, hey, your dog's not going to live a very long life. I think knowing that would have helped a little bit more. But anyway, so, and then the day before we went camping, and he was like fine. He was so happy. He was literally running around outside, playing with his toys. But probably for a few weeks before then, he stopped eating. Like, he wouldn't really eat. He wouldn't even eat like bananas too, which is like his favorite treat. So that was kind of alarming. So I don't know if we saw it coming, but we're like, shoot, I think he's getting a little more sick than he was already. But we went camping. He was so happy. The next morning, he seemed okay, but he was kind of sluggish. When we got home, he literally slept all day, and he threw up a few times, and I was just hanging out on the couch with him the entire day. Cassidy had to go to work for something for a few hours. And then literally as soon as Cassidy got home, he got up and started throwing up more. So we literally think that he was waiting for mom to get home before to tell us, like, hey, you need to take me in. So we took him in probably around 8 o'clock to the emergency vet, Blue Pearl, and they were running all these tests, and his kidney levels were like 5 times higher than they were supposed to be.
Oh gosh.
And his kidneys were super underdeveloped. His heart was underdeveloped. So he's just running into all these problems, probably from being a runt. But
did you have to wait in your car?
Yeah, we had to wait in our car. That was probably the hardest part about it.
Yeah.
And the vet called me and gave us all the details, and she listed a million different things that was wrong with that dog. Like, oh, my heart literally was breaking, and then the last thing she said is like, he has like it's kidney failure. So I mean, and he's really, really sick, And they gave us a couple options. They're like, well, we can give him some, like, we can give him an IV and get him, like, hydrated, and you can take him home and have, like, a day or two left with him. But, like, he was so sick, and so we just made the decision to get him euthanized that night. And thank God we had Milo with us, and we had a few of his favorite toys from camping. So we got to go in and, like, say goodbye.
God, I bet that was so hard. Shit.
Yeah.
Rick. Yeah, because I remember when Oscar was at the vet, they wouldn't let us come in, and I remember just thinking, I bet he was so happy to see you guys, though, come in that last time.
Shit. He was literally so excited when he came through the door. Like,
did he look like he was in pain at all?
Yeah, that last day, like, we could definitely tell he was very sick, and he was not, I don't know if he was necessarily in pain, but he was sick. He did not feel good. And yeah, when he came through the door, like, it's nice knowing that
he's not suffering anymore.
Yeah, it's nice knowing that the last thing that he experienced was how excited he was to see us.
That's true. And he probably just thought he was, like, going to take a nap.
Yeah, because they gave him medicine it just made him fall asleep, because the vet couldn't be in there with us. The vet technician could, though. But so he came in, he was so excited, snuggled with us, played with his toy, and he started to fall asleep. And we held it together when he was awake, just because we didn't want him to be scared. But when he fell asleep, that's when it was hard.
Oh, yeah, I remember experiencing that when I was younger.
Yeah. Shit. But yeah, we had Milo. So
Milo was in there too?
Yeah, they let us bring in Milo.
Did Milo do anything?
No, I mean, just, like, normal things that he would do with Wrigley, just kind of lay by him. And we all just laid there for, we were probably in there like 45 minutes. Yeah, then we left, and God, I was not good for like probably like 2.5 weeks. But
at what point were you like, all right?
I mean, right away, like I had to make the decision. So like I knew and like was kind of come to terms with it, but still to this day, man, I struggle with it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to when we had to put our dog down, and I remember I was really sad for a long time, and I feel like I still occasionally think about him, like our dog, and I get kind of sad, like wishing he was still around, but then
Yeah.
I think about all the good times that we had with him too, and I'm like, oh shoot, yeah, he had a good life.
Yeah, and obviously that's what helps us a lot is, yeah, we only had him for 1.5 years, but it was a good 1.5 years. Like that, he was never unhappy. He loved everyone. Everyone loved him. So it couldn't have been a better life for him. It's just, it sucks. Like there's really nothing else to it. It's just real hard. But, you know, having Milo too, that's super helpful.
Oh, yeah.
But also it was hard because he grieved for a little bit too. But he's good now. He's definitely okay. But
how do you think Milo would do with like a different dog? Do you think it would take him a while?
I think the plan is eventually, maybe at the end of this year or early next year, to adopt a dog. But yeah, Milo would have to adjust to it because him and Wrigley were best friends, and he loved Wrigley, but I think he's kind of soaking up all this attention. There's no one else getting any attention but him.
Oh, he's gonna be so pissed.
Yeah, he'll probably be a little upset about it at first, but obviously they'll grow a relationship. So I don't know when we plan on doing it, but I know Wrigley loved other dogs, and we have a lot of love to give, and there's a lot of dogs that need that. So eventually we'll
All right, listen to
rescue.
this scenario. I show up at your house someday, and I'm like, yo, I found this cat. Or I didn't find it. I said, I bought this cat for you. I can't have it. You need to take care of it. And then I just, leave. What would you do?
Foster it probably until we've...
Found
So, okay, some context here. I'm really allergic to cat. My throat starts to close up. And, literally, just had Ben and Lawrence for not even 45 seconds. And, I was already getting super sniffly and my throat started getting scratchy. But I would be willing to, foster it until we found someone to adopt it. I don't think we'd keep it.
I don't think so. What if it was a cat that didn't shed very much? I bet you'd fall in love with that
No,
cat.
I know I would. I love cats. I do love cats. It's just hard for me to wake up and, hard for me to picture waking up every day and just not feeling 100%, just being congested and my throat be really scratchy, and then I have asthma on top of that, so it makes it kind of harder to breathe, and it just seems like a lot to go through every single day.
It's true.
But if it turned out that I wasn't allergic to it, yeah, we'd keep it.
I wonder if you'd ever gain tolerance, because I know Lauren used to be really allergic to cats, and she still occasionally will get really bad allergies, but somehow she seems to manage it. I don't know how, though.
Yeah,
I'm over there, eating cat hair with no problem. She's over there, don't touch me, get off of me.
I do love cats, and I would love to have one eventually. I love to have outdoor cats, because then I can't really get super allergic to them.
That's
But
true.
there's something to be said about the companionship of a dog, though, versus a cat.
That is
Your
true.
cats are your friends, your best friends, but they're very, very independent.
Yeah, that's very true.
And then a dog is literally your best friend by your side all the time. And there's just something about that
Especially
I
training
value
your dog, too.
higher than having a cat. But there's nothing wrong with cats.
I think I'd love a dog, but I think I would piss our cats off way too much.
Just
All
know
already.
you will be opened up to a whole other world of work.
Yeah, I know.
With cats, you don't have to do anything with them. I mean,
Exactly.
obviously when they get sick or whatever, but
Take
you gotta
them
take
on
your dog
walks.
out.
That's
You gotta
maybe
take
the-
them on at least one long walk a day. You gotta take them out 4 to 5 times a day. You gotta
Okay,
feed them, and
between you and Cassidy, who takes the dogs out more
Me.
often?
period. Me, I did almost every single time, and she knows. If she watches this one, she knows that. I take unless I have to leave early or something, or I'm gone for a wedding. When Wrigley was around, and Milo, I take Milo out every single morning. Every single afternoon, I take him on a walk every single day, and I
What
take
time
him
do you
out
take them
every
out?
single
Do you have
night.
a routine? 8:30, let's go on a walk.
Probably, yeah. So 8:39, we'll go outside for the first time, and we'll go for a 1 or 2 mile walk.
Man, that's probably way longer than some people do.
Yeah, and then we come back and then work a little bit, and then I take them out in the afternoon to go potty, not to go maybe a little quick walk, and come back in. And then I let them out around 3 or 4 again, and then I let them out at night, before we go to bed.
Do you
And
ever
I am always. Cassidy works. She has to physically go to work, so she can't do it in the afternoon. But yeah, I take them out in the morning. Yeah, I definitely do most of the taking care of the dog.
Do you ever wish you had a fenced-in backyard so you could just let them outside and then come back inside?
Yeah, I mean, eventually we'd love to have a fenced-in backyard, but apparently in the Des Moines area, there's been a lot more dog theft.
Why would you do that?
Well, you make a lot of money.
Oh, selling the
you
dog.
steal a dog and sell it. But yeah, we were talking about that the other day with Matt and Maureen.
Yeah, how
How
are
these
they?
people will come up with food and gain the dog's trust, and then like
Oh,
later on come up and
That sounds like a Cedar Rapids problem too, honestly.
yeah. And so even if we had a fenced-in yard, if like someone could see our dogs or come up to them, I think I'd still sit outside with them.
Lauren and I are thinking about getting a shaded like deck so that I can sit outside and like work.
That'd
Like
be cool.
get like a awning that goes over top of our deck.
Would you build like? Would you get like a porch?
A porch would be cool if we could somehow get like screened indoors.
That'd be a lot. Probably a
Yeah.
lot more money than an awning or an overhead thing.
Owning a house is expensive.
Yeah, but
Like
at least you own it,
That is
and
true.
like you eventually can turn it around and make money from it.
That's the other thing that sucks is like thinking like we need to like keep the house somewhat. I mean, we're not like planning to like retire in this house. At least right now, that's what our plan. We're not planning to. So like knowing that in the future we're gonna have to make the house look really nice.
Give it some upgrades,
Yeah, and that's gonna suck. We already.
Well, if you finish the attic, it's gonna bump up the value. Could you finish the basement too?
maybe the ceiling would be really low.
No.
It's got such old pipes. I don't even think you've seen our basement.
No. You told me not to go down there because it's haunted.
No, it's just not. I don't know. It's not like a pleasant. I mean, you don't want to like stay down there very long. It's right now. It's where we have a bunch of our storage. Like we have a bunch of boxes with some of like our parents' stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't even
Should
know what
we-
I would do down there.
We've only been going for an hour. Feels like we've been talking way longer.
Yeah, should we end it?
Yep.
So inspiration.
Oh, gosh. Why did we start that?
No, this is a good.
No. Something that inspired us recently. Well, I finished my new website,
Oh yeah, that was.
and I think that's just kind of inspired me to keep going and look forward to this year and to future bookings and stuff. Just because that was kind of a daunting task that was on my plate. For a while, I was looking for someone to do it for me, but then I just ended up doing it myself, and yeah, just kind of inspired to jump into this season and the future seasons, and
Yeah, it's always exciting to get something fresh, get a fresh look. No, I think so. My last wedding, when I was getting ready to leave, it was like 9:45, 10 o'clock, and I was telling the bride bye, and some bridesmaids were with them, and one of the bridesmaids was like, "Hey, are you you want to come film my wedding on the 29th?" Or she said something like that, and I was like, "Well, I mean, I don't have a wedding that weekend, but you haven't even seen a video yet." And her response was, "I don't care. I loved your energy today." And I was like, "Shoot, that meant a lot to me because
that's cool.
knowing that I like to think that I sell my personality and like the experience. So knowing that I'm like doing that right definitely inspired me to keep doing more
In
stuff
half
like
a
that.
mile, turn left onto US 52 North.
So yeah, we'll end it with her.
Yeah. So we got 4.5 hours to go still, but
The podcast will be up by the time we get there.
probably not even a chance.
Yeah, no, we'll get it edited.
Ugh.
We can even put it on my SSD.
Ugh. All right. Bye.
All right, bye.
This is the Creative Crunch Podcast.
Yesterday's left turn might be tomorrow's right turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Wait. That's a good idea.